self-serving, persuasive talkers
of everything and nothing.
We are conversation con artists.
What's going on, people? It's your boy, Mr. On Point.
And I am Calamity Red.
And we are Conversation Con Artists, back for another wonderful, fantastic episode. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Mr. MISTER_on point and on TikTok at Eddie B Talking.
And I can be found on Instagram at red_calamity. Also, we're still doing the listener letter portion of the show. So if you have a question, comment, Reddit letter that you would like for us to respond to on the show, you can send it to our Gmail account, which is conversationconartists@gmail.com, or you can send it to the aforementioned social media.
And we have a couple of letters today. One of them coming from Nikki, who we haven't heard from in a while. I appreciate you for jumping back in the fray. We also got something from Colin.
Okay.
We're going to start with Nikki. Hey, y'all. Nikki here. So glad to see that y'all are back. I'm playing catch up and listening to all of the new episodes. 1. I moved in with and got engaged to my boyfriend, now fiance, earlier this year. I've never lived with someone in my adult life. Things are going well, but there's a learning curve. What advice do you have for successfully balancing living with someone for the first time, specifically as an introvert? Number 2. I've been working in the same field for around 6 years. I like it, but I wonder if I should be doing something else. Have you all felt this way? How do you know if what you're doing is what you're supposed to be doing? Number 3. I'm currently in the process of wedding planning. It's an expensive and ghetto. I feel like I want to cancel everything and elope every other week. We are having no wedding party and kids. We've received some pushback on the kids, but we are firm. I'm walking down the aisle alone because I'm estranged from my father. My mother is deceased, and so I'll not have any parents there. I'm having difficulty with the fact that my mom is not here for all of this. Any advice for how to manage not having certain key people during major life milestones? I feel cheated. Thanks, Nikki.
Oh, well, it's sad. I guess just start at the top, go down. I've never lived with anyone. So, and I would imagine that if that ever occurs, that I will have the same problem. I would say be open and communicate. Like, On Point could tell you, like, me having my space just means being left alone, right? Like, he stayed with me and I just got my Switch and I would go off on my own with my Switch and I just didn't want to be bothered. And that was enough for me as long as I wasn't bothered, right? So a main thing, just like with anything else in a relationship, is communicating so that the person doesn't feel like you're angry at them or upset at them or not liking them as much anymore, anything like that. But just say, I'm somebody that needs my space. Has nothing to do with you. And just keep that communication open. Obviously, I mean, if y'all have been together long enough for you to be getting married, then I'm sure he knows you're an introvert. And so it shouldn't be like too much of a surprise, but like this is a new part of your relationship as far as like living, because it's different going to visit somebody. Even if you going to visit them almost every day, you don't live there. So y'all, sitting down, having a conversation and just making sure that everybody understands what everybody needs. Like if he isn't introverted, how much attention, like together time does he need, and where can y'all meet in the middle so that you still have your space, and not feel overwhelmed? That's what I would say. But just be, anybody that come to my house know, like at a point I'm gonna probably get social overload and I'm gonna be off to myself. Not because I'm mad, I just don't, I like my space and I like being on my own in my house. That's part of the reason why I have lived alone for so long, and I've gotten used to it. So everybody in my life knows that at that point, my cousin has come to stay with me, and I'll get tired of her ass, and I'll just go off again to a space where I could just exist and not be bothered, and that's enough for me. So you got to figure out what it is that you need so you can communicate it to him. That's another thing you need to know. Like in this new situation, considering that y'all live together, realistically, what is it that you need that's still going to include him, but give you the space that you need as an introvert? Then you communicate it with him and y'all compromise on places that need to be compromised. That would be my advice.
My advice is don't let little shit go under the premise that it's little.
Mm,
Address all that shit today. Okay?
yeah,
If
because it'll
you
keep
like
happening.
your juice on the left side of the fridge and he put it on the right side of the fridge, ask him if it's a big deal if it's on the right side of the fridge. Otherwise, let's put it on the left. Okay? This is a training session, okay? He training you training him. Little stuff make a difference, right? When it comes to cleaning, like if you notice a little droplet of pee on the seat, don't wipe it up and let that shit go. Address that with him. Communicate. Hey, little pee pee dribbles on the seat. You know what I'm saying? Let's take care of that. Don't let little shit go because it's little. I don't know what that means. Listen, sometimes you just can't help the pee. Sometimes you're gonna wake up in the morning, you're gonna pee in that toilet, that porcelain, and all that pee just gonna splash back because it's a strong stream. It happens. It happens. Okay. It could be a
I mean, I
little
wouldn't
thing.
care as long as I don't see it. So
Exactly. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know when my pee splash. I don't like pee around my seat, so I clean it up. Um, but it happens to men. Some people might have better pee stream control, but sometimes you wake up and it's just got to go out there. But don't let the little things go. Um, at some point, the little things building up are gonna be those little minute things that end up causing an argument and gonna end up have being something that somebody been doing for months. Wait, why you ain't never said nothing about the juice being on the right side? If you got a problem, you been had a problem with it the whole time. Just be your authentic self. Come to you with your little, come to them with your little quirks, and communicate openly about what it is that you need. That's my advice, my input, because that used to be me. you know, He's like, oh, ain't no big deal that this happened. Bloop. Ain't no big deal that happened. Bloop. I'm more intentional these days about things that make me feel like the system is equitable. And you'd be surprised what things people don't know is going on that once you bring it to their attention, be like, dang, I didn't even know I was doing that. Or things that people utterly don't care about, that if you care about it, they'll be like, oh yeah, absolutely. I could put it on the right, on the left side. It's no big deal. And then it helps that move along. So that'll be my advice for living with somebody. Communicate is always my advice, but especially don't let little things go just for the sake of them being little things.
it's good.
Next,
I'm changing up.
have we felt how we felt about working in the field?
I mean, I'm there now. Did I probably did mention this on the show that I'm looking at PhD programs because I want to move in the direction of more of a teaching role than a counseling role. Still, obviously regarding counseling, but not sitting in sessions. And not nobody's children. Okay, don't want to be a school counselor. So in order for me to do what I want to do, which is become a professor and teach on a collegiate level, to be a staff member that requires a PhD. So I'm looking at PhD programs and trying to figure out like what would be the best way for me to do this shit. Because I got to a point where, and I don't know, I think there are some people that stay in the exact same field the entire time they're adults until they retire. But I feel like more people probably do at some point feel like, I mean, look at how long we fucking live. like how long you are in the like working. I feel like it's natural to at a point maybe be like, okay, enough of this. And I don't think it's that, people are always like, I feel like I haven't found my purpose. I don't know that I think that our purpose shifts, you know, um, because I still feel like I still would be within the field of counseling because I still enjoy the field itself. Doing sessions is just getting to be like I feel myself getting to a place where I'm just kind of like enough of this. And so and having a career means that you got to do a little prep work when you're gonna change it up. So right now my prep work includes doing what I said I was never gonna do, which is go back to school. Um, and trust me, I didn't look to see if there was a way around this. I could be an adjunct, but I want to be a faculty member with benefits, and I want tenure so they can't fuck with me once I get established. you can't get all of that as an adjunct. So yeah, I mean, I think that, the way that is when you start questioning it. If you started questioning it and feeling like you're not completely fulfilled in whatever it is that you're doing now, then it may be time to shift focus. Like, I think that's how you know. And like I said, I think there are people that can stay in the same thing their entire career and never move and be happy with that. But I don't think that that's how everybody's path goes. And so yours may be, it may be time. You're making a lot of changes in your life. And sometimes when other stuff starts changing, it makes you want to change other things too. You've moved into a new spot. You're experiencing living with someone. You're planning a wedding and about to get married and all of this stuff. And so sometimes that encourages changes in other places as well. So I think if you're thinking about it, then it's something that your subconscious is probably telling you maybe it's time to shift. And it don't have to be something completely different, or it can be something completely different. You kind of have to explore that with yourself. Are there aspects of what you're currently doing that you enjoy, and can you bring those things into something else? That's a good way to start. Like I said, I still enjoy counseling. I just don't want to do sessions, and like being able to influence the next group of counselors that will be seeing clients, that sounds fulfilling to me. And it's still within this realm, it still takes the pieces that I enjoy about it, but lets me do it in a different way. So that's my spill on that.
Same. I love therapy for my clients and for people who are seeking therapy, but the social perception of a therapist is fucking abysmal. Like, the group of people out here in the world who don't fool with counseling and wouldn't go to counseling, I don't know what the fuck they be looking at us as. Some kind of wizard or mage that's gonna cast a spell on their ass when we meet them. Hey, how are you doing? Yeah, what do you do for a living? Oh, I'm a therapist. Oh, you're analyzing me? Are you
I
analyzing me?
It's not that
I have a
important.
panic attack.
Hate it. Hate when people do that. Like, but I'm not at work. You think I want to just go around doing this all fucking day? Like, calm down.
Yeah, like, well, I'd be on the other side. I'd be like, yes, I'm analyzing you. You analyzing me too. That's what we do as people. You're looking at me to determine if I'm trustworthy, if I'm a decent person. You're doing all of that shit. Like, are you telling me I shouldn't be able to do it? But either way, that's not what, the version of analyzing again is like, I'm doing something to you, like I'm harming
Yeah.
you. Like, oh, your existence is intrusive to mine. Like, so, and even on TikTok, like, because, I'm in a lot of lives, I'm talking to people. I don't bring up I'm a therapist, because when I bring up I'm a therapist, people already get this perception that think I know what I'm talking about, think I know better than them. And that in itself is not enough to make me say I can't do this work or don't want to do this work. But it's until our society gets to the point where they value this as much as I do, then I'll do something else. I'm gonna keep my license forever. When the government starts saying we finna pay y'all for this, then I'll go back into it full time. But also, my hobbies are things that I'm really, really hoping can turn into businesses that are lucrative. My candle making, I'd like for that to be one of those things. And my hat making, which I haven't made a hat yet,
That's
but
what it's like. Wait, what?
I have all my tools. Well, a couple of them are on the way. I need a sewing machine, but I'm definitely about to get into making these hats because it's just something that looks really cool and it's functional and it has some futility. Shogun, if you listening, he's gonna be my hat model. I'm
He would
putting it
be a
down.
very good hat model.
Yeah, because he be on them wide brim fedoras.
Yeah,
Like,
it does. And it looks good. Some people can't do that. Like, some people can't rock
he
it.
probably wouldn't say this about himself, but he is pretty picturesque. Like
No,
in
he
his
would not say
pictures,
that
like
about himself.
say what?
He would not say that about
He
himself.
wouldn't.
But
He
he
wouldn't.
is.
He take
He,
good pictures.
he does, yeah.
But if I can get out of counseling full time and make the same or more money, I would. I would. And also, like with me personally, I'm just not good at setting boundaries for being a therapist. I'm just not good at it. When I go out of town, on my mind is still my clients. I give my clients access to text and communicate with me if they have an emergency or need me. I don't fully cut myself off because for me it's like nothing that I'm ever doing that is that serious that my clients that need some support can't access me. And none of my clients have taken advantage of that. None of my clients have used it without needing it. But for me, it's like the fact that I still try to keep myself so accessible is genuinely boundary issues with me as it pertains to therapy. Even also another piece, asking for pay, money pieces. That's hard for me.
I
That's
do
hard
hate
for
that.
me.
I hate that part, and like how insurance is like working for a private practice has really, because it was a thing. It was like, when I was trying to decide what it was that I wanted to do, starting my own private practice could be a thing, but like dealing with insurance companies that like all of a sudden decide they're no longer going to pay for mental health services, and then these people had these large bills that I'm supposed to ask them to pay, knowing their situations because I'm their therapist. Like that ain't never set right with me. That's another part of why I think it's time for me to switch over, because I find myself really irritated. And I get it's a business. I get that the money is why I'm able to have the salary that I have, and the building and all. I get all that has to be paid for, but it's like we know these people's situation. The only reason that they were coming is because they thought insurance was going to cover it, and it's not their fault that we didn't find out that insurance stopped covering it until 4 sessions in. And so now you want to ask them for hundreds of dollars when people don't have that to get. If they had it, they would have just been paying it in the first fucking place anyway. So that's another piece that I don't like. That shit, I hate that. I hate that part of it. And that's another thing I'm trying to like, I won't have to deal with that part anymore either.
And there are a bunch of therapists that see the human connection and experience as a business and can compartmentalize much, much better in that regard.
Yeah.
Me, my heart is too bleeding red to sit here and give somebody this idealistic hope that I'm going to help you get out of this thing. And after 2 sessions, the insurance ain't reimbursing for services for some whatever reason. And now I'm supposed to take that away from them. Some people can and will immediately, but I'm gonna give you 3 more sessions at least while we try to figure out how we can get you services from somewhere else, which
Yeah.
ain't even always easy to do. As a therapist, I can't even find you counseling. So somebody out there who is skeptical about counseling,
Yeah.
suffering through their pains, trying to do the work to find something that is hard to find out here, that society frowns upon still, like this is it feels like it ain't made for me on that side of it. Like the work, connecting with people, connecting with kids, parents, all of that stuff is for me. But that other part is really, really hard. It's really, really hard. And if I can get out of it, I will. If I can have a product based business, I would. If I could literally have a store with 1,000 candles in it and online shipping with my store with my candles, I would love to do that. I would love to do that. And maybe my candle business will move it up to there. Maybe it won't, but hopefully it will. Yeah, that's my input.
Uh, Theater, no,
Any advice for how to manage not having certain key people during major life milestones?
it sucks. One of the things that I always suggest to my client is what is a way that she can be there, right? And for people, that's different things. Um, if there's something that you have of hers, if there is just whatever piece of her that you can bring with you into the ceremony, whether that be included her favorite color, so you're completely surrounded by that during the ceremony, or something that you have of hers that you can include, like whatever way that you can include her in the ceremony symbolically, it's still gonna suck. Okay, you want your mom here, and that's a big hole to have just in life in general, let alone when you have like milestone events that occur. But if there are ways in which you can include her in the event, this is a really dramatic what am I trying to say? This is a dramatic example of what I'm saying, but um, I once saw this video of a couple that were getting married, and they had been together forever, and they had lost a son, and that their son had was a organ donor, and he had donated, I think it was his heart to a kid that needed it, and so her family found the person that the heart was donated to, and he came to their wedding. And it was really sweet. They had like stethoscopes so that they could hear the beating heart, because it was their son. It was a whole lot. So that's an extreme version, but just ways that you can bring those people into those things, it's helpful. And regardless of anybody else understanding why, like I said, other people may not know what her favorite color was, or they may not know that this particular thing that's a large part of the ceremony used to belong to your mom. Whatever way that you can bring her in and have her there symbolically for you, it'll be helpful. It's still gonna suck, and I hate that, and I'm sorry for you for that. But that's one of the things that I usually suggest is like, how can you have her there symbolically? And again, that's different things for different people. Um, but that would be what I would say.
So when I have this conversation with clients, one thing that I have to assess initially is, where are you in having grieved your mother? Are you at a point right now where you get sad when you think about her? Are you at a point where you don't get sad and you can talk about her to people even though you do miss her? Are you at a point where you can laugh about your mom with people who have fond memories of her? Like, those things make a difference. And that's the difference between doing something passive, I think, like maybe having a color, versus adding a piece of the ceremony as a tribute to your mom, and anybody that he might have lost. Like, I want everybody to understand the importance of this woman in my life. I wouldn't be who I am without her, and hence, the parts of me that my husband is my fiance, soon to be husband, is accepting, has to be recognized for me in this ceremony. And and whatever that can mean, it can mean something simple before the wedding, something simple in your vows, if you want to write vows and have words for that. If you want it to be something after the ceremony, before the reception, it can be something so that you're paying homage to your mom. If you see her as looking down over you, you can see something coming down, her looking down on this moment, um, and is letting everybody else know how important this person was to you. And again, like Red said, yeah, it's not going to be easy either way. But I think that what we want to do is pay homage to the people that came before us and show the rest of the world how important they are to us, and be in a position where we can continue to tell their story and not be sad enough and caught up so deeply in the sadness of the loss that we don't tell the stories to the people around us and to our new loves and to our children and all of the people we're going to meet, because we can't fathom talking about it through the sadness. So if you're still at the sad place, and haven't worked through grief, I do encourage you and anybody else who's lost anybody to move through that grief through counseling, to get to a place where you can actually um, be in a better place to think about that person. So I agree with Red. Just gave a little bit extra vantage point on my side of it. And again, I don't know when your mom passed away, but I'm sorry for that loss for you, and that what you struggle with is important moments that show up in thinking about her not being there. I'm sorry that that's your experience currently.
And I hope we were helpful. As I mean, the thing about it is, these are things in life that just really blow. You try to make them do what you can to make it as good as possible, but um so hopefully some of this will be able to be helpful to you, And definitely, if you're not in therapy, if you've never been in therapy, find a good therapist. I tell people, do not go to therapy, have a bad experience, and think that therapy just sucks. That person was just not for you. I'm not even gonna say that person sucked. One of the things that I tell people about therapy and about therapists that you have to understand is that we all essentially get the same training for the most part. We all get the same degree, got to do the same level of internship, got to do the same level of working under a supervisor to even get fully licensed. The thing that changes between us is the personality that we bring to it in our own life experiences, because it makes a difference in how we present what we've been trained to do. And so if you have a bad experience, it may be that person and you did not have a good vibe as far as like matching up personalities. So you have to find, and I shy away from saying like people are bad therapists, especially when I'm not I've not met them or had any contact with them, but like we bring our personality to it, right? Like how I am when I'm doing therapy is like a lower version of Red. Like it's a more empathetic version, but like my putting boundaries in place is strong as fuck because that's my personality. And so that's the difference. So when you're looking for a therapist, or like if you have an experience that wasn't good, it doesn't mean that therapy's bad, or it doesn't mean that therapy's not helpful. It means that was not the therapist for you. Find one that matches what you need. Because that's the
And,
difference.
and be aware of what you need.
Yeah.
Because again, if Red and I both got the same training, and Red has worked with 100 people who have grieved a loss, and I've worked with 2 people who have grieved a loss, she's going to be much more efficient at how to manage that experience for you. So
Yeah.
knowing what you're going to counseling for will help ensure that you're picking somebody that has a skill set that you can uh get more help more efficiently with your issue, you know.
We have specialties like doctors do. Like the way that you would go to a heart doctor for your heart condition and not just to your general doctor for when you get the sniffles. We have specialties or things that interest that we obtain even more training in because it's something that interests us and that we see a lot more of because we have an interest in it. And so finding out what the specialty of your therapist is and making sure it aligns with what you're looking for. Because again, the same way that you wouldn't go to your general practitioner for a heart condition, you need to make sure that the therapist you have is well trained in whatever topic it is that you're going for. Because there is a difference in levels as far as like how trained in a specific thing we might be in. So hopefully that's helpful.
Hopefully. Thanks, Nikki, for the letter.
Look at us being actual professionals. We usually sound like dickheads on the show.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
See, we are
Finna,
professionals. See, we do this off the air for real.
we are finna take an immediate turn.
Yeah, because of calling. Yeah.
Yeah. So anybody who's listening, if you're emotional, just pause the show for about 15 minutes because the title
Dramatic.
of Colin's email is LOL exclamation point.
Christ.
The name of the listener letter is Today I Fucked Up by Giving Shower Head.
Oh, fuck's sake.
So I mean, I'm good with this, but just like relative to the moment that we're having, you know, a
Show
little
forever.
cringe.
Yeah, it does sound cringy, but whatever. Let's do it.
All right. I, a 31-year-old female, was having a shower, and my husband, a 34-year-old male, decided to join. Although it's normal for us to shower together, we have to share a standing shower with minimal space so it can get pretty cramped. Things started getting a little steamy, and not just because of the hot water. I decided to kneel down and give him head. I'll spare the details because I'm not an erotic writer. Sorry. We finished, and he reached around me for a hug with a smile on his face, and then he whispered, "I'm going to pass out," in my ear. In the seconds before the next series of events, my first thought was that he was joking. Then his head hit my shoulder, and I was left with a 6'3" man full weight in my arms. The shower is wet, everything is slippery, and the next thing I know is the weight of both of our bodies crashing into the shower door, which opened and outspilled my naked body. I look over, my hand is still supporting my husband's head whose body is slumped inside the too tiny shower. His eyes flutter open, realizing that he is on the floor of the shower and his wife is laying halfway outside of it. We both immediately get to each other repeatedly and ask, "Are you okay? I'm okay. Are you okay?" Thankfully, neither of us were really hurt. My husband bit his lip and I have a giant purple bruise across my butt cheek where I landed. He said he remembers having a long dream, even though he was only out for a few seconds. He compares it to when you're about to die and you see your life flash before your eyes. Too long, didn't read. I gave my husband a blowjob in the shower. He climaxed, passed out, and we both collapsed in a naked mess, bruising my bum and our egos.
That's not the direction I thought this was good. I don't know what I expected it to
That's
be.
more wholesome than it
But
is like problematic. This was a wholesome story. This was a whole okay, like husband and wife being intimate, friendly, no bad, nothing bad going on. But I got some questions.
Oh,
I
Jesus.
wonder what the feeling was when he said, "I think I'm finna pass out." Like, how do you know? Like, is this something that commonly happens with him, or has
I
this
mean,
happened
I've
before?
like got faint and realized you can't do nothing about it. But like I've gotten faint and in the moment of being faint, realized that I was faint. Like I was about to like faint.
I've passed out before and didn't realize I passed out until I was getting up off the floor.
Yeah, I've had if it's like a slow, it kind of happens in slow motion. Like you're aware of it, but like, what the fuck are you gonna do? Really? Like, how do you can't do nothing about it? You don't even know why the fuck you're fainting. So like, you just have to let it happen.
I got up out the bed to go pee real fast, and I was still in like I wasn't all the way up. I just knew where the bathroom was, and I remember going to the bathroom and whipping my thing out to pee, and I just remember getting up with my thing still out, pee everywhere. So I was like, "What the hell?" Like I passed out while I was peeing, presumably because my body wasn't ready to be awake. But I got right up immediately. Like I didn't stay on the ground. It's like I got up, went to go pee, boom, boom, fell down, got up, and was like, "Damn." And my roommate came up and said, "Everything all right?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm good."
Must have been Philip,
Yes, it was
the
Philip.
voice. It was the voice.
Yeah,
You probably do not remember this. When we both lived in Montgomery and we were both staying in Green, what was it?
Village Green.
Village Green. I was working at Toys R Us and I fainted. And you and my brother came with me to the emergency room because they transported me to the emergency room. I was at the register at Toys R Us and I knew I was fainting, but it wasn't that I. And so in the middle of fucking Toys R Us, while I was the cashier at a register, I was fucking passed out. But I remember it. Like I remember realizing, like, I don't know, something. I'm okay, and just letting it happen. So like it's happened to me before. It's weird, but like again, it's just kind of one of those things where it's like it ain't nothing you can do about it, so you just go to sleep. Night time.
Listen to me. I don't remember none of that shit. Period. Like at all. I went to the hospital with your brother. What?
This is when William was living with me. When I was living in Montgomery.
I do not remember that shit. I don't remember being in no car with your brother. Did we? I wonder if we rode together.
I don't think y'all rode together. I think you both
probably
just
wouldn't have. Nah.
No, I think you both just showed up.
Did you call me or would he have called me?
He wouldn't have
You
called.
passed.
Probably was me.
Well, how would you have called? You passed out and was in the ambulance.
Because they took so I get up there and they took fucking forever. I was at the emergency room for probably about 8 hours. Like we were just sitting there waiting to be seen. Cause like once I came to, I was fine, but I wanted to know why I fainted in the first place. And we were sitting there for like ever. And the only obviously because I was the one that fainted, I remember, but also that started my don't call the fucking ambulance for me. Because it's gonna cost $250. If you have insurance,
oh yeah, because the next time when you had that kidney stone,
I made a whole.
You was saying, "Don't call no ambulance."
They still fucking did it. Yes, that's where that started from. It was from the incident at Toys R Us, and I got that fucking bill, and I was like, $250.
She had to be peeled out of her vehicle, y'all, because of this kidney stone.
Yeah.
she yelling, don't, like, because you was going to be angry at whoever it was who got you out of the car that wasn't a professional. You was going to be mad at that person forever for harming you.
I was
You
more,
weren't going to be.
I was more mad that they did not.
Listen, knowing you, this a lose-lose situation. Okay? If your brother would have peeled you out and put you in more pain, you would have been swinging at his ass and all kinds of shit. And then you would have been like, your ass had me hurting trying to get me out that vehicle, as if it would have been a way to get you out of that vehicle without you hurting. But then when the professionals come get you out, you mad about the ambulance. It's a lose-lose. It's a lose-lose. I don't remember that shit. I do not remember. When I tell you my brain's ability to push shit out of my head that don't make a difference is motherfucking A+. Now, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but the shit I need to remember, I remember. The shit I don't need to remember, I do not remember at all. I don't remember that shit, period.
William remembers it because he was so pissed that we had to sit at the emergency room for so long. He's still talking, because again, we were there for like 8-9 hours. That's not an exaggeration. Like, they had me sitting there for fucking
I'm trying to remember, because I just don't feel like I would be in the hospital with your brother there for that long and not having had some conversation with him. And I don't even remember having no conversation with your brother outside of you being there.
I mean, they didn't put me in a room. Like, y'all weren't just sitting out there.
We was just out there with you.
Yeah.
I don't remember that. I'm glad I was a good friend.
You were on the right side of history in this one.
I'm glad I'm glad I'm a good friend that I don't remember being. I'm glad people are gonna have memories of me that I'll never get back to.
But yeah, fainting and realizing that you're fainting, it happens. It's a weird feeling, and there's nothing you could do. I'm glad they're both okay, but like, just imagining. She like probably thought he was gonna whisper some sexy shit in her ear. He's like, I'm about to faint. And she didn't even believe. She's like, what?
And let me tell you something. If that was me falling on somebody, your ass is grass. I'm sorry. Your ass is grass. I am 325 pounds of fucking solid meat. You ever seen a motherfucker carrying a goddamn... Now, don't get me wrong. The solid meat is a little over-exaggeration. I'm a solid meat with a layer of fat around the outside of it. So let's be a little bit more clear. But I weigh a lot. You know, if I fall on top of you, your ass ain't getting up till I get up. That's just what it's gonna be. I'm just gonna have to apologize, or she gonna have to do some John Wick dive out of the shower shit when I get ready to faint. Just let me fall. Don't try to catch me. Don't try to hold my head. The car's gonna fall as they will. Don't get me wrong. Being fat like make me fall hard and heavy. But the layer of protection that fat gives is a protection now. So I'll be able to take a fall. It'll be fine. The other thing is, how fuck he know what life flashing before your eyes before you die look like? Like, I was like, he almost died before?
Might have.
I don't have enough information in this story. I need to know how often he passed out. I need to know if this was the best blowjob in the world. I need to know if this man had almost died before. I need to know some things, because she gave him that pass out head. Or what if she had not given him head? Was he gonna pass out anyway? Was it a timer set on this nigga passing out regardless? Like,
think about the amount of, because the older you get, like the amount of physical activity in a hot ass, steamy ass fucking shower. Like, people go in saunas and pass out if it's too hot. So like, the combination of all the things that were going on, I could see somebody passing out. And like, we as women, she was in the shower first. We had hot showers. Like, it's all the way on. So the culmination of things, I could see it resulting in what it resulted in, because showers are fucking hot. It's like a sauna, depending on how hot you are in there. And y'all in there like doing all this physical activity and shit. Like, I can see it.
I feel like at some point in a marriage, like if you write down all of the weird, odd moments that you have together, I feel like that'll be a good ass book in 20 years. Like, I feel like when or if I ever get in a long-term relationship, I'm gonna name all these moments. Like, I named this one passed out with my ass out. just like name moments when y'all had these little weird moments and be like, in 20 years, you're going to have like, 600 little moments and you can just put these holes in a book, elaborate on them, embellish a little bit, get rich. I figure out how to get rich off of this dumb shit. Mine going to be probably kitchen stories, most of them, burning up food and shit. Let's see. But damn,
Colin.
I do and don't want that kind of blowjob. Shower stuff is real weird, man. It's slippery in there. It's just like it's not healthy to do. It's not for a big man. I'll tell you that right now. Especially if you don't have a stand-up shower. Look, if you're a big man, I'm gonna tell you right now. If you're a big man, you need to refrain from doing sexy ass shit in one of those showers where you just got the bathtub over the edge. Because if you slip and fall, your ass is grass. Your head finna hit the toilet. If you don't hit the toilet, you're gonna hit the floor in front of the toilet, and that's a long fall. A standing shower is your best bet to be freaky in the shower. I'm just hollering at my big mans. Okay? Clearly this is for everybody. But if you're gonna fall and hit something, bad. If you're gonna fall and be in a little square box, okay. But doing sexy shit in a slippery little area, it's not good. Don't do it. Okay. That's all I got. Thanks, Colin.
All right. Let's see.
You got some am I the assholes?
Am I the assholes that have already been determined to be the asshole, but sometimes we don't agree. This
I'm
one
read you mine first.
Okay.
And you pick one.
Okay.
Am I the asshole for telling my brother I'm more important than him? Am I the asshole for yelling at my stepdad for snooping in my apartment after he was upset about what he found?
Oh.
Am I the asshole for telling my wife I shouldn't be poor each month while she has a ton of money?
I mean, the last one made me roll my eyes. So I guess that might be
the one.
I might get into a rant. Let's see what he said.
Let's do it. Hey everyone. Me, a 35-year-old male, and my wife, a 36-year-old female, have been married for 3 years. I have 2 children from my first marriage, 17-year-old male and 13-year-old female, and she has 4, a 17-year-old female, 15-year-old male, 12-year-old female, and 8-year-old female. I have 50-50 custody of my kids. She has full custody of her kids, and their dad is way behind on child support, so she provides all their financial support. I want to preface this by saying my wife and I keep our finances separate. My wife makes more than double than I do. She gets $50 an hour and I get $22 an hour. It's always been like that. We agreed when we moved in together we would split the bills equitably based on our incomes. She ended up covering basically all household expenses. Mortgage, utilities, cable, internet, food, etc. I would cover 1 week's worth of groceries and my car payment, car and motorcycle insurance, gas, cell phone, vapes, etc. This all changed when I wrecked my car earlier this year. I went shopping with my wife for a new car and really wanted an SUV. My wife made me look at cars too because they're a lot cheaper, but I had my mind set. When we sat down to finance it, they told me my payments would be about $850 a month versus about $380 a month for the car. I decided on the SUV and my wife seemed pissed. Anyway, my insurance readjusted after the accident with my car payment and other expenses. I barely have $100 in expendable income each month. My wife has fund money and still throws a lot into savings and projects around the house. I was speaking about being frustrated about this with my sister, and she mentioned that it's a sign of financial abuse is limiting access to household money. So I approached my wife and said I wanted to combine our accounts, that I shouldn't have to live like a pauper while she has money to throw around, and she told me that it was my own decisions that led me to not having a lot of disposable income, and that if we wanted to discuss a budget for fund money for each of us, we could. I got really upset and told her it isn't loving or right for her to have so much left while I barely have 2 pennies to rub together. Things got heated and I'm staying at my sister's for the weekend. I don't mind wanting things to be even. It's so wrong. I don't think wanting things to be even is so wrong, but my wife is kind of right that if I got a cheaper car, I would have more money. So am I the asshole? Yeah. Too long didn't read. My wife makes more than me, and I barely have any money left over each month while she has a ton.
See, first of all, your too long didn't read is fuck shit because you had left out a very important part. That too long didn't read make it just seem like she just got you paying all these bills and she just not helping at all. You made a decision. First of all, you made a decision if I had your wife's salary and not your salary, I still would not get no fucking car that's $800 and some a goddamn month. Are you crazy? You decided that you were going to do that, even though there were other options, because that's what you wanted. Okay, pay for it. How you mad at her? And your sister can suck a dick talking about this some financial abuse. That's why you with her. That's why right now you shacked up at her house because you were stupid. There is no way on God's great earth that you gonna sit up here and try to blame your wife for your bad financial decision. You just said she paid most of the shit in the house. She put money in savings. She take care of projects around the house, and now you want her to also help you pay for this expensive ass car that you decided to get. Fuck you, sir. Like, yes, you're an asshole. You sound crazy. How are you the victim? You're the victim of your own choices, sure. A victim of your wife, though? Fuck you. Get the fuck out of here.
Communication. Listen, if you can't look at keeping your finances separate as a couple and not perceive situations like this showing up where somebody might not be making money and it might not be equitable, then you ain't doing your job as a couple. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wonder why you agreed to having those finances separate. Was it something that she said, like, we gonna keep our finances separate? Or was it something that you said because she got 4 kids that she fully responsible for? Because she provide all the financial support for the kids. Is that calculated into everything she paid, including the mortgage and the utilities and the cable and the internet and the food? Is that calculated into that? You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, yes, it was your fucked up decision that put you in this situation where you financially compromised. And the answer to it ain't give me some more money. Because that's all it is. Give me some more money because I wanted a better car. Like, I need you to pay for my car. That's essentially what you're saying.
Yeah.
I need you to pay for my car. And, you know, again, an $850 car note on an SUV, that either super luxury or y'all credit is fucked up. Like, anytime somebody say vape, I assume they credit fucked up. I feel like it's a certain type of people that vape. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you stand 10 toes down and fucking your lungs up, like, smoke some cigarettes, smoke some weed. Don't be goddamn vaping. And so between people who stand 10 toes down and take that nicotine and that weed smoke straight to the lungs, and people who don't smoke at all, vape people are a very specific type of people. So when that shit said vape, I was like, this motherfucker got a Monster sticker on his car. That's how I feel. I feel like he drank Monster energy drinks all day long, squash them cans. I feel like he probably still smokes cigarettes. And because there's so many kids, they probably got a gallon water jug that they put the cigarette butts in so the kids don't pick up the butts and smoke them. And they very well may live in like a double wide. It's a nice double wide now. When you're on the inside, it don't even look like it was some shit that they brought in here on the truck. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, that's how I feel. So choosing an $850 a month vehicle versus a $300 one. And another piece is you was only gonna have $420 extra a month if you didn't make this decision. Like, what fun is that? That's still money that you need to be saying, I might, if my car fuck up money. That ain't fun money. If you even
he said that she also put money in the savings. So I mean, it sounds like he probably could have access to the savings money for a car, like something going wrong with his car. So it probably is fun money for him. Cause you already ain't even paying that much. You buy groceries and what was the other one fucking thing that he paid for?
Vape, cell phone, gas, insurance, motorcycle insurance.
All of that is shit that has something to do with you. You're not even contributing to the household. Everything that was on that list are things for you. It's not for the household.
I don't know. I mean, car, gas, all of that might be for everybody else. I mean, it may be her car payment and insurance payment. Now, he's a greater asshole if all of that shit he listed is for him. But when I read it, I was just assuming that he took care of everybody's car insurance.
How much money does he make?
$22 an hour. That ain't too shabby.
It's not too shabby. I don't know. Given his response to having this increase in his own car payment because of his stupidity, I'm just not inclined to believe that he was paying for her shit. Like, I immediately, given his response to all the rest of this, thought all that shit is for him. It's his shit.
That ain't enough money
Except
for
for the
$22
food.
an hour. That ain't enough money for $22 an hour. For $22 an hour in a 40-hour work week, he have enough money. If he ain't paying mortgage, he'll have enough money to pay his own car note, his cell phone bill, his vape, his gas, his insurance. Now, $22 an hour, you'll have much more expendable income than that, even with an $850 payment.
I don't know.
Okay, let's see. $850 for that car. Gas, $250. Car insurance, car and motorcycle insurance for himself, $300. A cell phone, $200. Just being generous, and vapes. That's less than $200. That's less than $2,000.
But
with $22 an hour, you making $2,000 a month, right?
I'm finna see 22 times 40 times 4 before tax is 3,500.
After tax, it's
I
still
don't know how much tax gets. I guess it
35%.
depends on where he live, where they live.
35%. 35% is the general how much you should attribute to your income for tax.
Okay,
it's
so
usually lower than that. It's much lower if you're a business owner.
35, 20. That's $2,200. That leaves him with $2,200. So
and that might be about right, I guess.
yeah, it sounds like right. But it's not.
So maybe he is only paying for his shit. Oh, if he only paying for his shit, he's a super dick. He a super asshole. If he only paying for his shit and she literally funding everything else. Oh, hell no.
Say what you said. Okay, so he got, say what you said again, the amounts. I'm finna subtract them from what he
okay. Okay, let's say we got his car payment is $850.
Okay, so mine is $850.
Car and motorcycle insurance, we'll say $300. Gas, $200. Cell phone, $200. Vapes, $200. And a week's worth of groceries, we'll say $250.
$288.
He got $288 left.
Out of that,
ain't no way he paying for both of their fucking.
He not paying notes for her shit. That's all for him.
Fuck this nigga, bitch. She need to leave your broke ass in the dust. As far as I give a fuck. If you gotta ask people if you the asshole and you only paying for your shit, hell no, nigga, you the asshole. And the fact that you don't know it is the reason why I don't fuck with you. If you knew you were an asshole, I could fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? Because again, it's a reasonable conversation to have to say, look, babe, I am fucked up. And she said that. She said we can have a conversation about fun money compromises. You know what I'm saying? She said that. And then what families? But he didn't even put up a solution though. He didn't even say what he want to happen. Do he want her to pay for a bill? Do he want her to just give him an allowance for him to be able to do some fun shit because she got it? He didn't even put up a solution. He just mad because he got this expensive ass car, and see he's sending this bitch with the Monster drink cans in there and fucking vape on the goddamn side with the vape juice on the seat and stain the bitch. Sad because he can sit in his SUV, but he can't go nowhere in the bitch. You should have got a car, nigga.
That $850 takes a huge hunk out of that. Like 20, it was exactly $22.88 to be specific a month. Was what after 35.
I was overdoing it on the bills now. I could have been underdoing it on some. Like I might have underdid it on the gas. But
he said he had about $450 left.
No, he said he got 100 left.
Oh no.
Maybe the insurance. The insurance can cost more depending on how on his car history and
this
groceries can cost more with all them kids in the house.
$850 a month. The insurance, because he said car insurance for his motorcycle and the car, and you only gave it $300. I feel like it might be more than that.
Look, All I can say is it's time to make some fucking different decisions in your life, bro. It's time to get rid of that motorcycle. When you get a better job, you can get that bitch back. And if you ain't driving it, take the insurance off that motherfucker. Like, you gotta make some decisions.
And you should not have got that fucking SUV knowing you can't afford this shit. See, what you did is you got it because you knew she paid for everything else. So it didn't matter to you that this was going to end. But now that you see that, oh, well, it does impact me because now it's taking more money because she ain't helping me with it. She told you to get a fucking car. She told you that was too much. You did it anyway. And she was like, okay, bet, do it. But you're going to pay for it.
That's vape nigga decisions. That's vape nigga decisions.
Stupid.
Yeah, if your dude fucking with a vape, you need to be micromanaging nigga decisions. Just letting you know. I'm sorry. That's what it is.
I'm assuming they classified him as an asshole in the Reddit. Is he an asshole?
Comments. I don't know. Hold on. Let's see.
I'm sure he's an asshole.
You're the asshole. Your income covers 1 week of food for your combined family of 8, and the rest goes to things just for you. Your car payment, your insurance, your vapes, etc. Who pays for your kids' activities, clothes, shoes, etc.? She's covering the roof over your head and the rest of your household bills, plus raising 4 kids with no child support and no financial help from you. That is not financial abuse. Her not handing over money to you for fun when you don't take on responsibilities and made a bad financial decision on a car payment is not financial abuse.
See, everybody else thought they saw it too, that it was all for him.
Let's go to the next one. How on God's little green earth did you type this out and not realize how wrong you are? You already split bills proportionately. She's already shouldering most of the cost because she makes more money. If you want to split the rest of the money, guess what, brother? You also have to listen to your wife's input on financial choices, like not cranking up your car and insurance payments. But you didn't want that. You chose your SUV. That's your fun money. You're already spending it. You already threw your spare money around and left yourself with only pennies. Stop playing tiny little violin and take some responsibility like an adult. You're the asshole. Add to it. Wait, car and motorcycle insurance? You got a bike too, and you're still whining about not having enough money for fun things? Jesus and the saints preserve us. You need to get your head out of your back seat. God damn, these niggas going hard. This nigga probably suicidal now. You make a third of the household's income and only contribute a week of groceries, and then you went and bought an SUV, and then you let your sister convince you that you were being financially abused. Laugh emoji. You don't contribute to your living expenses. You're the asshole. You don't contribute to your own living expenses. Fuck. Info, why did you agree to an SUV you couldn't afford? You stated you knew you'd be responsible for your own car payment, so why did you choose something out of your own personal budget?
Stupid.
Bro, they roasting this man. Oh, I want to read some more. You the asshole. $50 an hour, 4 kids, entitled second husband, and all household bills is one notch above working poor. No way is she rolling in money supporting a household on $50 an hour. OP has a lack of financial sense. Yeah. Fuck this dude. I'm gonna read one more. You're the asshole. It's hilarious to think of this as financial abuse when you were the one that bought an expensive SUV, even though your wife wanted you to buy a car that was cheaper. You have no money, but it's literally the consequence of your own actions. LOL. She's not controlling you or preventing you from getting money. She's not stealing your money or restricting it. You expended your money yourself. Damn.
Bro. Like, what did you think? It's like, what do they really think when they're typing this out? Like, that they're really gonna, like, you genuinely thought people were gonna be supportive, be like, yeah, she's financially abusing you. You should put your foot. Like, what did you really think? Because
I know exactly what happened. He went and talked to them vape bros. That's what happened, goddamn. He taught his sister vape too. She vape. He vape. All this vape bros, gym bros, everybody that vape. He went and talked to them, and they was like, "That bitch is crazy, man. You need to get. She can't have you out here like this." That's what happened. That's what happened. I don't give a fuck. That's what happened.
Stupid.
Niggas with vape is a toxic community. Leave niggas with vapes alone.
Stupid. Fucking.
I'm anti-vape now.
Terrible.
Terrible
life decisions.
Fuck vapes. I see you smoking vapes. Do you see that many black people vaping? I just don't be seeing black people vaping at all.
I've seen some black. The dude that my ex-boyfriend vaped. He vaped as a step down. He used to smoke, and so that was his step down. And he started vaping, but like he would have his vape in his police car. Like he vaped all the fucking time.
This just reinforced my vape nigga decision theory.
He vaped. He sure did. He vaped all the time. Had it with him on duty.
Vape nigga decisions.
So
he made some bad ones. All right.
This one, because I'm just like, the title. Am I the asshole for asking my guests to pay $10 to come to my wedding? You asking an entrance fee to your goddamn wedding?
$10.
Because it gotta be just an entrance fee, because that ain't for food. Like, you can't be like, that has to be just like an entrance fee.
I feel like that's ego shit. $10? $10 ain't enough. $10 is not enough to need it.
No.
And it's not enough to help something.
No.
Just say you want to get married by yourself and go. Like, just do that. I am not paying to get in no fucking wedding. I didn't want to be here no fucking way. Me
and you want
personally.
somebody to bring you a gift and shit? You want me to pay to get in this motherfucker and bring you a gift? Now,
there is no way this person. Yeah, there was no hope of this person not being an asshole. Like, we motherfuckers who come to your wedding are doing you a favor.
Yes.
We are witnessing you do this thing that you wanted to do and you wanted to be witnessed. Fuck, I'm finna pay for that for. I'll fucking watch the new Thor, goddamn, then watch your ass get married. I want to come pay $10.
I want to see that. I
I'm
gotta
gonna watch
catch
it
up
today.
on Marvel movies, man.
I'm gonna watch it today. But you need to catch up on the Marvel fucking TV shows.
I can watch a movie and be completely satisfied, but like Marvel shows where I have to go week to week, I've tried and I just don't stick with it. I don't stick with it. It's too much of a commitment for me.
Anyway,
I
look,
solid like hour and 42 and a half hours. It's a solid one time commitment. A show, I gotta come back every week.
I'm gonna stand 10 toes down in this statement I'm finna make, okay? I don't care who you are or how important that you are to me in my life. If you give me 15 minutes, I can come up with a list of 100 things I'd rather do than go to your fucking wedding. Okay? I can give me 15 minutes. I might be pushing it. Give me 50. It's a lot of shit I read. A lot of shit I rather do that is free. And about 30 of them is just in my room with no fucking resources. Okay? I don't want to come to your wedding. I don't want to see your vows. I don't want to dress up. If it's outside, I definitely I got 200 for that. If the wedding is outside, I got 200 things I'd rather do. Now, I will come to your wedding because I fuck with you.
Yeah.
But if you put a motherfucking price tag on it, I'm finna go do 200 of them other shits. All right? We ain't even read the fucking letter. It ain't no point of reading the letter. Is it no point of reading the letter?
Yes. I want to see why they're doing the $10. I'm just curious as to what reason, like who came up with it. So they're both 20.
We finna be some motherfucking our child died of cancer and we trying to get some.
They got that. Reddit already said they were assholes, so.
I mean, it still can be this letter can still be a letter that make all the shit I said make me sound like a supreme dick. It's Reddit.
Let's see. They're both 23.
I still don't fuck with your wedding. Bye.
Both of them are 23. So this is the guy writing in. No, it's the girl. The girl writing in. The female. My fiance and I are getting married in less than a month. We are doing a small wedding and only inviting 20 guests. That just make it worse. It's only 20 months. That's $200. What you gonna do with it? We decided we wanted to have our wedding up in a canyon. But to access this canyon, it costs $10. So we're having our guests pay the $10 to enter the canyon. We put this canyon fee on our invitation. Are you fucking kidding me? You chose a place that costs interest in. You're inviting people and you want people to pay the interest fee into this bullshit ass. Like, why the fuck would you choose? You know what? Let me finish. Because my sister called today and she had just received her invite in the mail and was mad about having to pay to attend a wedding. She called me an asshole because I was being a cheapskate and there are thousands of canyons that won't have a fee. But me and my fiance have our hearts set on this specific canyon view. As the argument went on, she started to nitpick our whole wedding plan, having the guests bring their own camping chairs. Bitch, y'all are asking for a lot. Not having a real reception, just a small dinner for those who attend, and posting our registry all over social media, but only having 20 people actually be invited. we don't want to spend money. We don't want to spend money, well, a lot of money. And so doing it outdoors is one way of doing that. We also just want our close, intimate friends and family to be there. So I don't know what's wrong with keeping it small. To those who will ask, it's a canyon fee you have to pay at the base. So it's not like we could just pay the park rangers in advance and just say this should cover it. It's open to the public. So am I the asshole? Ma'am. You asking for so much. First of all, you're asking people to come in outdoor, like weddings in general. You're gonna probably have less people that's gonna be willing to do that shit. Okay, outdoor got outdoor shit. Okay, you don't have no control over outdoor shit. The weather, bugs, a canyon, bitch. Bye. Like, first of all, I would, if I was one of your close intimate friends, I would have to decline because I would fucking be coming. You want these people to pay this fee. You also want them to bring a bunch of shit. Y'all ain't setting up shit. So, like, you want to get married with no cost to you. And I get, Godspeed, but maybe should have just went to the courthouse if that's what you want. Like, you sound crazy. She has an update because people, I'm assuming, got in her hands. She got like
Okay.
6 updates. 6
so
updates.
You better motherfucking cash out me $10. You ain't got a motherfucking. Don't be making no goddamn excuse like, oh, it ain't like we can go and pay for you. I'm going to get. Cash out me $10 before this motherfucking wedding.
I don't believe that she couldn't go and pay. Like, I just don't believe that she could not go to that ranger station, explain the situation, and give them a list. Or like, there is a way for you to just pay for these people to be at this fucking canyon, bitch. I'm just not buying that. I am
And
sorry.
listen, you know what? Even if I was willing to pay that $10, I'm gonna be at this wedding, and I had committed to paying that $10 to go to the wedding. If she would have put that weak ass excuse in the group chat, I'm out. I'm out now. What? So the other 19 people who ain't willing to pay, you can't come down and pay. Now you just lying.
And keep in mind, you got to go to the base of the. So you also want these people to, I'm assuming, be dressed up and carry camping chairs, because you got to bring that shit with you down into the canyon. So I got to do fucking work and set up shit for you. Like, bitch, girl, bye. I got to bring a camping chair with me.
Listen, you are not about to invite me to no intimate event, make me feel like I'm an exclusive member of a club, and then get us into that bitch like it's a goddamn scam. Pyramid scheme. You don't make me feel special because I'm one of a few people you chose and then charge me $10 on principle. I'm not coming to your shit.
Yeah.
On principle, I'm not coming to your shit.
I read some of the comments and then go back and read her update, because I think her update was in response to the comment. So this person said, not having a real reception, just repeated what she said about the reception. You're the asshole, not sure which is worse, $10 entry fee, bring your own share, or getting the registry over social media and not being invited to the wedding. I guess there are no bathrooms at this canyon dinner. Better add BOY ass wipes. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I mean, at best, maybe porta potties would be down. It's a canyon. Like, what would be even down there? Because it's not set up for this kind of shit. I did. What, miss? Oh, okay. Let me read her updates, because this person said, as OP stated she stated in a comment, there's a 1 mile walk to get down to where the wedding is. So you want me to walk a mile dressed up carrying a goddamn shit after paying $10 to do this uncomfortable ass shit? Bitch, you crazy. Bitch, you crazy. These are her updates because people got in her ass. Number 1. No, it's not in a national park. It's just a canyon near our hometowns. We talked to the rangers, Forest State Park. I don't know what you call them. They said it was fine as long as we didn't go over 100 people. I didn't realize posting your registry to social media was such a faux pas. Everybody posts everything nowadays online, and many people who already knew that they weren't invited had asked me about the registry, so I posted. You give it to the people that asked you about it. Yes, we talked to the Rangers. We asked them if we could buy passes or slips or give them a list of names ahead of time in order to pay for our guests, but none of those solutions worked. We decided informing our guests that there would be a $10 fee as a heads up would be the best way to go. I guess we should have been more creative, but we already sent out the invites. So there goes half the suggestions. We are taking some of the other ones under advisement. Probably going neither Probably going neither an usher or a bus at the gate. Those were good ideas. I don't know what that was supposed to say. That's what she wrote. Number 4, we said small dinner. We were referencing the side of the after party or lack thereof, no reception. Not the amount of quality of the food, but thanks again for your judgment. Bitch, don't get smart because you ain't in a position. Number 5, I accept the judgment that I am the asshole, but 23 is not that young to be getting married. It wasn't about the money. It was about the logistics, and none of this has any bearing on if my marriage will succeed or fail. You don't know our relationship, so please stop. Number 6, all our guests, other than our parents and my sister and my fiance's 3 sisters, are outdoors type college friends from the area, so it's not a big deal. Okay, all of our guests, other than the main, your parents, his parents, your sister, the main people you want to have there are not outdoor people. How you gonna say all of our guests except our parent? Like, them the main fucking people. You got your 23. Your parents might not be that old, but still, they old enough because they would be around my age where I ain't finna be fucking walking through no goddamn canyon, baby. You better Skype me in, but I'm not finna walk a mile with a chair. You lost your goddamn mind. You're crazy. None of this makes any sense. None of this makes any sense.
You listen. I had a friend, Cheeks.
Okay.
You know Cheeks.
Yeah.
Did I tell you about the wedding story? I probably
No.
said it on the podcast at some point.
I don't remember it.
Him and Sheila was gonna get married, and he asked me if I'd be his best man. Threw me by surprise. Like, me and Cheeks always been a whole friendly competition. I don't know what he saw about me that made me want to be the best man, but you know what? You say yes to that.
You do. It's hard.
You say yes to that. That ain't and if anybody asks me, I'll do it. They canceled the wedding. And the next time I heard from them, I got an invite to the wedding. Not as the best man.
Had you paid? Like, how far in the process was it?
It wasn't far at all.
Okay.
He just asked me if I'd be the best man.
Oh.
Ain't no money went into it. Ain't no energy went into it. Ain't nothing went into it.
Okay.
Right? And I get the invite, and I'm glad. I'm glad I'm not the best man. I don't want that pressure. But I know it had to have been working on him about what to tell me or how to communicate to me. So right before the wedding happened, he sent me a message, and it said, Eddie, I know that you was originally the best man for the wedding, but when I told people who were going to be in a part of my wedding, I didn't realize how many people were going to be offended by not being a part of my wedding party. And of all the people I know, I knew you would be the one that would be 100% okay with not being a part of it.
I mean, it's accurate.
And when I tell you, I had never felt more known in that moment than anybody who have ever known me. And I had no idea that he knew me like that, because the essence of him inviting me to be his best man, I was like, this nigga don't know who the fuck he talking to. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like it was a part of him trying to represent the relationship that we've always had, which we've been kids since we was like 2-3 years old. you know, or around each other because our
I don't
mamas was
think
best
I
friends.
knew that you. I knew y'all knew each other and were roommates and all that. I don't think I knew that y'all had known each other for that long.
Him and my mama was best friends until they fell out, and we had
Huh.
always been around each other. But by the time they fell out, we were old enough to have like an established connection enough to where, you know,
Like
that
outside of
and look, the only reason he went to Texas, he went to school in Texas when he left home, and he stayed there a year. And after a year, I flunked out of Auburn and moved back home. After my stint at home, he moved back home because he was homesick. He didn't like being in Texas. It was too far away from his family and everything. And so I told him I was going to drive to AUM to put in an application for a college. And he was like, I'll ride with you. And we rode up there just chilling. When he got there, we just walking along on the tour, looking through the campus. He said, you know what? I'm going to fill one of these bitches out too. So I feel fully responsible for this man's life right now. He met Sheila because of that day that he rode with me. You know what I'm saying? Now he had to put in the game and get Sheila, and that turned into his own thing. But I'm taking credit for that motherfucker's life, and I'm gonna tell him soon too. I'm gonna remind him. I love reminding him of shit about himself. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah. Didn't know that.
But yeah, that's a story I told in the middle of something else.
Well, I mean, honestly, bitch, you crazy. I mean, that's really you're an asshole, and I feel like a lot of these people writing like you didn't realize. You know how? And I just read a comment that I didn't even think about. It's really you're asking these people to do a 2-mile hike because you got to get the fuck out of the canyon when that shit is over with. So you want me to hike out into this motherfucker? I feel like canyons are gonna have pretty like humid or dry. Like when I think of a canyon, I think of like desert, like it's either really humid or dry. It's a canyon. Like I guess it could be like a green canyon where there's like, but I just feel like it's gonna be hot and uncomfortable. So I gotta sit out here during this fucking ceremony and then hike another mile back out this motherfucker. Like you're crazy. You're insane. Like, girl, you're asking for a lot. You're asking for
a whole lot.
Like, you're definitely the asshole. I
Listen,
wanted to.
and I was bringing that story up to say that like a good friend would not have invited me on that thing in the first place. First off, I'm a fat ass motherfucker. Second, I'm a bald headed, so being out in the sun, I don't want the sun tapping on my bald head all day. Third, have you thought about what happened if a motherfucker fall and get hurt? Like, is everybody in this wedding party suit? Like, did you just invite your hiking friends to this?
No, because she said that most of everybody was like, but like her family's not. So your dad could fall and break his ankle. Your mom could I mean, the most important people to you aren't hiking people. They're not outdoor people.
No.
Your friends are, but like your family ain't. The fuck?
Man, I'm gonna turn everybody against your ass. You know what? I'm gonna turn everybody against you. If you invite me as one of them people and say I gotta pay $10, I'm just gonna be like, okay, cool, and I'm just gonna start motherfucking working on everybody's brains. Can y'all believe she asked us to pay $10? I mean, she could cash out us or something. Like we ain't the ones getting married. We the witnesses. We doing her a favor. I mean, if nobody was there to see this shit, we could say it didn't even happen. We helping them out. It's only $200. That don't constitute an expensive wedding and that shit on. Why are they putting the burden of their wedding on us? And have the audacity to give us that registry. Look, if I pay this $10, I bet you they ain't getting no gift. So I hope that they want their gift to be $10.
Can you hear me?
That's what they're gonna hear from me. Yeah, I can hear you.
My dog pulled the microphone out of its socket because he's a fucking idiot. All this space and places for you to go, and you go where the goddamn wires are.
Would you, if a child did this, do you think you have the control to not say the stuff you just said in front of a child?
Yes.
I don't know, Red. I'm only saying I want to believe you, but I don't know. I want to believe you, and I believe that you believe it, but I don't know if it's true.
I've been around kids like my nieces and shit, and they did stupid shit, and I ain't said it to them.
Yeah.
Kids do dumb shit. Like they don't know, right? Ruby don't know either, but like he don't know what I'm saying, so it don't matter. He just look, he wagging his tail. He don't know. He happy. He has no idea I'm annoyed with him right now. So the next one, it was one that I was gonna read last week. I'm still just curious, like why you would do this. Am I the asshole for making my 7-year-old go to Alcoholics Anonymous?
What the fuck?
Exactly.
Was this a scare tactic?
At at 7? That's really
young. Do that shit with fucking STDs.
I mean,
not that young, but like I can see some Bible thumpers doing that shit.
But have you been to an AA or NA meeting before?
No.
So when I was in grad school, I don't forgot what class it was. One of my classes, it was a requirement. We had to go to two. You could choose NA, AA, GA. I mean, there's really not a ton of them, but you had to go to 2 self-help meetings and just write a report on what it was like. They can get personal. Like, you don't want to take, I mean, it's AA, but like you don't want to take your kid to an NA meeting and then this person get up there to talk about how they had got so bad that they was sucking dick for meth. Like now your 7-year-old is in here hearing this shit. Cause some of the people,
what is dicks?
like you don't want to have, cause like the meetings get personal. That's the point of it. Like every one of the meetings, they have a person that tells their story of their addiction and kind of like how it started, how they got to their bottom, their bottom point, and what encouraged them to get help, right? And so every meeting, somebody shares their story. Some of them people they get real personal about what the fuck happened. Like the NA meeting that I went to, the guy never had a drug problem. He started working for got in a higher level in this company where he was able to go on these retreats with like the CEOs and shit. And CEOs, if you don't know, of companies, a lot of them are functioning addicts. And so whenever they would have these retreats, everybody did coke, right? But these were functioning addicts who were able to like keep it like at the retreat. He started doing coke outside of the retreat, and it just spiraled down to where his bottom point was he had spent his kids' college funds. He was in like a dingy, dirty hotel where he had been on a binge for like a week. His wife had left him, kids weren't speaking to him. And that was when he realized that he needed to do something about his life. And so he still don't got no or at the time he still didn't have a relationship with his kids. They were still mad about the whole "you spent our money for college on coke" thing, But anyway, yeah. 7 years, these are not meetings that you need to take kids to, because you don't know how detailed people are going to get about sharing their story. So you don't know what your kid they're not for kids. So why the fuck would you, even if for a scare tactic, like that ain't it. Don't do that. If you're listening and have ever considered doing this, don't. I'm telling you, you're gonna have to explain to your kid what blowjobs are. You gotta explain a lot of fucked up shit. Cause think about all the things that people do in active addiction to get to continue the addiction. They talk about that shit. Sometimes very openly. You don't have to explain that. I wouldn't want to explain it. But so yeah. So am I the asshole for making my 7-year-old go to Alcoholics Anonymous? And they have Al-Anon for the family members. And I'm sure they have like a kid version, where babies can go. Like, anyway. This is a 31-year-old female. And the son's almost 8. So I have an amazing son, almost 8, who is incredibly sweet, well-mannered, and inquisitive. Although I guess most parents think of their kids that way. I quit drinking about 2 months ago and have been adamant about doing the AA program correctly. 90 meetings in 90 days, sponsor daily readings, therapy, etc. I really want to be a good mom and make up for my bad decisions when I was drinking. I never harmed him or put him in danger, but I just wasn't present and am remorseful about my drinking past. The problem is that I'm a single mom who works full time and live in a small town. Because it's small, there aren't a lot of options in terms of AA meetings. So the only one I can really attend is the 5:30 based on my schedule and my son's. His father has him part-time, so on those days I can attend meetings by myself. But on my days, but on my days I have to bring my son. I don't have anyone to leave him with, and babysitting wouldn't work because nobody wants to babysit for just 1 hour. It doesn't financially make sense for them. So I take my son to meetings. Naturally, he isn't too thrilled when I have to. Before you suggest I could do Zoom meetings, I really don't get anything out of them. I like the in person connection and atmosphere. My ex, who has never taken my alcoholism seriously and has never actually attended an AA meeting, says I'm the asshole for exposing our child to that kind of atmosphere and those kinds of people. The truth is, those people are what saved my life. They are so sweet and good with my son, and while sometimes the subject matter can be a little adultish, I'm sure, we mostly talk about how to be better people and live in a spiritually sound existence and to help our fellow man. I personally think it's good for my son to be surrounded by people that are trying to better themselves and also to let him know at an early age the effects of alcoholism as it runs in my family. But maybe I'm the asshole and way off the mark and am doing more damage than good. I would just like an outside opinion that aren't emotionally connected to the situation. Am I the asshole for taking my 7-year-old to AA meetings with some of the topics that are addressed? She did an edit, but I want to talk. I mean,
So I don't think she's the asshole. I think
no.
she's deeply, deeply misinformed and disadvantaged in the sense that she don't have any support.
Yeah.
This is definitely absolutely not ideal.
Yeah.
Um, I think you need to find somewhere for your child to be.
Yeah.
You need to find somewhere for your child to be
This is not the way to educate him about alcoholism.
at all,
This is
at
not
all.
it.
Because I mean, it's so many different things that can happen at this place that will be a permanent mark in your child's memory
Yeah.
that you won't be able to help recover from because you might not even know it's the issue.
Yeah. People talk about
He is.
abuse that led to, I mean, there's so many things that he could overhear that he doesn't need to hear. Um, and so you're not an asshole, but this is one of those situations where it's like the single parents that leave their little small kids at home because they don't have nobody to watch them, but they need to go somewhere. Like you're not an asshole, but it's also not a good decision because you're endangering the child, regardless of the fit. Like I get that you don't have anybody to watch them. However, that's still not the idea. That's not the way to do. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of those unfortunate situations. Um, but I wouldn't say she's an asshole. And the comments really are like they don't want to say she's an asshole. They're basically it's just like you need to figure something else out because this is not good for him. Her edit is people often. Wait a minute. She did no. That was another comment. Here we go. I super appreciate everyone's responses. It gave me a lot of insight. Admittedly, I didn't really think about how other members may feel about having a child there. I was mostly thinking about the comfort of my son. I will say that the group is all old timers that have years of sobriety and largely just talk about service work and how much better their lives are. But as many have pointed out, the presence of a child may deter members from talking about serious subjects. So I'll either just give my kid headphones and a tablet to play with. I mean, look, that don't work. I don't know why parents think that
I mean,
kids are fucking nosy.
yeah, you're right. Like it. I mean, the kid already voiced that he don't like going, so maybe
Mhm.
he is more susceptible to just listening to some
Listen
stuff,
to the
other stuff
headphones, yeah.
while he there. But yeah, it ain't no guarantee, you
That
know.
he overhear shit. And
Yeah,
people still may not be comfortable to talk because it's like, yeah, he got them
and
headphones on, but
that's what I was gonna mention about you. Our professor in my substance abuse class talked about how he doesn't like students going to AAA meetings because he don't want the people there to feel spectated.
hmm
Like it's supposed to be a space for people who need to heal or whatever. And so he was against that concept of sitting in those meetings because of that. And so, yeah, if a person knows that you're there for that, it'll impact how they can communicate, but especially a child. But also, think about how many people in that situation may have, like the person you saw, who have ran up their child's fund money, and that child is triggering
Yeah.
to, or people whose child has been removed from them, and like they hadn't seen
Yeah.
their child in so long, and now they got this woman who be bringing her child here, flaunting her child in front of us. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? It's I think it's not healthy for the space either.
What I will say about going to the meetings, there is such a, and my professor said this before we even went, there is such a noticeable difference between going to an AA meeting and an NA meeting. Alcoholics are sad. There are a lot, like especially the meeting I went to, but he had said this, so like he's been to a number of different meetings, and so that was also his experience, and he warned us about that. Uh, in the NA meeting, when I tell you they were so happy, like, cause I did announce who I was. I didn't want to just come in and pretend, you know what I'm saying? So like I
Yeah.
did make it known that I was a student and that I was just, and I would have left if they had told me they were uncomfortable. So I gave them the opportunity to say, okay, that, that's weird. We don't really want to do that. Because they have open and closed meetings. So I chose open meetings that were open to whoever, but I also let them know that I was a student. The AA people let me stay, and I don't know, the energy was so much more like down. The NA people, they were hugging me, which I was not cool with because I ain't a hugger in general. And they were just so, what? We're so glad you're here. We love when we have people come in from the outside so that we can spread, like they were so friendly. It was such a different experience between going and sitting with people with issues with alcohol than the drug addicts. Like they were so friendly. And he said, he was like, I'm telling you, like they're gonna probably hug you. Like they're just super friendly. He was
Wow.
right on the money. It was so different. Like, and I think I went the same week because I wanted to get it out of the way. And it was such a drastic shift from like sitting in the because the same thing occurred, right? Like people told their story, but like the AA meeting was a grandma who like, and looking at this sweet old lady, like she a lady that you would see in the grocery store and probably help her get something off the shelf, but like she was drinking vodka daily, lots of it, and had ruined a relationship with her adult children because she would never get help. Just sweet, but like it was just a lot more down. The NA meeting, even though this man is talking about losing everything and his kids not talking, it just their support of him could be felt. It's not that the people in the AA meeting did support the grandma, but like it was just a different vibe. Like it was so different. Like I will never forget that. Like the NAP, and like after the meeting was over, some of them came up to me to ask me about like what program I was in. Like they were just really fucking nice and very welcoming to me being there. Um and so it was one of, I mean, obviously because I don't have an addiction to either of those things, would never otherwise have ever had an opportunity to see what those meetings are like. But it was so interesting. It was such a different experience. But going there myself and hearing the things that are discussed, there's again, Al-Anon, and I mean, I guess it would be difficult for her because they're not going to have the Al-Anon meeting at the same time or during the same space. But Al-Anon exists for the family members, right? And is it Narcanon for the Narcotics Anonymous version of it? But that's for family members. Those are appropriate, and they have them for like different age groups. Those are meetings that are if you're just wanting to involve your kids or family members in your journey to sobriety. There are meetings that exist for family members, but the actual AA, meetings are not appropriate. They're not even appropriate for adult family members that are just come. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't even say like her older family members even need to come with her to the meetings. Um, there's a reason why they have separate meetings for family members, but I'm not gonna say she's an asshole. I'm just gonna say you need to figure out something different. And I don't know that the headphone thing is it because that only solves part of the problem for you. It doesn't address the problem you might be creating for the other people in the space. So there's that.
Yeah, I don't suggest it. I hate to go as far as say you the asshole, but if in a binary choice system, then you are the asshole in this
Yeah.
situation. Uh, you will leave your child with some trauma that you don't know how to manage.
Yep.
So bad idea.
Yeah, not a good idea. Like I said, if you or somebody if they're involved in AA, NA, Al-Anon, Narcanon are anonymous self-help groups catered towards family members to give them a space because everybody's experience within addiction is so different, right? The person with the addiction has their experience, and then each of the family members in their different roles have different experiences. And so that's why it's not really conducive to put all of them in the same group because the experience is different. Um, the way that it impacts everybody's different. So yeah. But I was like, why would you take a 7-year-old? Thankfully, it was not a scare tactic, just bullshit ass thing. It's just because she doesn't have
Yeah,
child care. So that's
that's
better.
good.
That's much better.
That's good at least.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the only other one I'll do. I don't know if you have another one you want to do.
Nah, you got it.
Okay. Well, if you have a letter or a comment or whatever that you want us to respond to on the show, you can send it to our Gmail account, which is conversationconartists@gmail.com, or you can find us on our social media. So the Queen died, Queen of England, which I never thought was gonna fucking happen, and I'm sure Charles didn't think that shit was gonna. He been waiting to be king forever. She was 96 years old. That bitch was just not gonna die, and so this is probably the first time in my memory of someone dying where there has been such a mixed bag. Like really the only people that are sad are other British people. Um, if you don't know the history of Britain, the royal family, colonization, this is a great time for you to learn about it. Uh, Essentially, the Queen, Great Britain, the monarchy fucked over lots of countries. And these are not just like black folks. Like every time we talk about slavery, or everybody always think about, but like the Irish, like she fucked over, or her monarchy fucked over a lot of people. So her death was not a sad occasion for a lot of these folks. And so I'm used to Black Twitter, Black TikTok showing their ass when something happens because that's how we like people always like, y'all don't take nothing serious. This is how we cope. Okay. So shut the fuck up. So you got Irish Twitter and TikTok. You got all of these other nationalities and ethnicities like showing their great asses. And it's been amazing. It's been an amazing few days. If you're not somebody that like God saved the queen and loved her and thought she could do no wrong, and because those people are in their feelings. But like I would say the majority of the world right now is in celebration of the death of her. Like they not sad about that shit. And it's just been interesting to see that shit. Like, oh, the memes and the TikTok, it's been so good. Like people have been like making TikToks about her getting to heaven and not being able to get in.
It's been really, really disrespectful, but
Oh God, it's been
it's
crazy.
disrespectful to death, but it's not necessarily disrespectful to the person.
And this is where what I've said in previous podcasts comes into play. For me, I do not, and I never, and this is in my own family. I've told the story about my aunt dying before. You do not get absolved of fuck shit that you did and suddenly become a good person because you die. I am sorry. Is it unfortunate that you died? I guess. I mean, all of us are going to die at some point. And so, in a general sense, for the people that did love your ass, I guess it is sad. But like, you don't become a good person. Like, people feel like you don't speak ill of the dead. Well, some people, it ain't nothing good to speak about them. I'm not going to make up stuff or pretend. I did not go to my aunt's funeral because she was a bitch. She was an awful person. And I was not gonna go pretend to be sad about her dying. For the people who were sad for her kids and shit, I get it. She was your mom, cool. But I'm not gonna be in that space feeling the need to like pretend to be something that I'm not. I just don't believe that. If I'm a bitch in life, the expectation that people are just gonna like exalt me and think that I'm this amazing person when I die is laughable to me. I don't get that shit. Like, I don't understand. Like, my mom will go around, oh, you don't speak ill of the dead. Why? Why not? They were horrible people when they were alive. I just don't feel. I don't get it. To me. So for me, this has been amazing because this is everybody doing what I've always done. I don't give a fuck about you dying. If you are a terrible person, you are a terrible person. And I'm going to like respond to you in the same way that I did when you were living. It ain't going to be no different because you happen to die. Sorry. And, condolences to the people who give a fuck. Those are the people that I would like care. But like you in general, whoever you be, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I'm sorry. Be better. If you want people to remember you and be sad when you die, be a good fucking person. But if you're gonna be an asshole your whole life, then just expect that people not gonna give a fuck when you die, or maybe even celebrate, as is the case with Queen Elizabeth. Like, I just don't get that shit. Like, whatever. If you weren't negatively impacted by her or your family, your lineage was not okay, you mourning her, great. But like telling other people how they should mourn or how like they should be, I don't agree with that shit. You experience it the way that you experience it, and you let everybody else experience it that way. And some of them people's ways ain't gonna line up with yours. But there's a lot of bullshit that Britain was a part of, like that people don't even know about. Like, the Diana memes have also been like Diana. She about to catch these hands from Diana now that they're both dead. Also been crazy.
Another one was I forgot the name of the one. It's a celebrity having a baby, and people were making memes about Queen Elizabeth dying and then transferring over into that celebrity and being born back into the world.
It's not a celebrity. It's a YouTube personality. Trisha Paytas.
Oh, yeah, I don't know about that.
I saw that earlier today. I've been watching a lot of TikToks and shit. It's hilarious to me. But the royal family, and like a lot of people are like, well, she didn't have any control over that. She's just a figurehead. The monarchy has not always been a figurehead. It has, or like them not having, like Parliament has a lot to do with what goes on over there now. I think that's not always been the case. So y'all can miss me with that too. Miss me with that too. She lived forever. So yeah, her rule and her ability to do shit changed over time, but it's because she lived forever. She was 96. And I'm sure Charles is very excited about becoming king, but like he not gonna rule nowhere near as long as his mother did. Charles old as fuck. Like, I give him a 10 to 15 might be being really generous. Like, William is definitely gonna get his chance to rule. Whatever that means now. Again, I don't even know how the monarchy really works now in 2022. But William will definitely get a chance to rule. Because Charles is not long for this world.
Do you think what's the other son's name?
Harry.
You think he gonna be invited to the wedding? I mean, to the funeral?
The funeral? I think he'll still, yeah. I think they'll still let them come.
Oh, he gonna be outside of it, drunk, locked out, because they done denounced they fucking throne and shit.
I mean, I think, because apparently I saw this too, and I haven't looked into this. So I don't know if this is true. Apparently she because I think she had been sick for a while, and they kind of knew this was coming, even though they weren't announcing it to the public. Like, they just said something this week, because it was like one day they were saying she was really ill, and they were watching her, and she was like dead the next day. But like, I guarantee you, she had been sick for a while, and they just weren't telling people. But apparently, in her like wishes, her dying declaration, she specifically said that Trump was not allowed to come to her funeral. Like, apparently that's written down somewhere that he's not allowed to come. which is fucking hilarious to me.
Mm.
But like, regardless of how, I really do think Harry loves his grandmother because she your grandma. Like your grandma could do fuck shit. You still love her as your grandmother, and I think she loved him as her grandson. I think he'll still be allowed to come. I would be surprised if he wasn't.
Mm.
I think he'll be there.
You think Meghan Markle coming?
Let me tell you something about Harry. Okay, Harry don't play by his fucking wife. If Harry there, Meghan gonna be there. Because if Meghan can't come, Harry not gonna go. He has made that very fucking clear. If this was William and he had to choose between what's her face, what's his wife's name? I can't. Kate. He would leave Kate ass at home and just be like, "Well, bitch, you can't go." Harry don't play that about Meghan. So like, if Harry's there, Meghan gonna be there,
But
unless
like all
Meghan
the
just don't want to go.
scrutiny that she gonna have to be under, like motherfucker gonna be like, "What's up, Harry? What's up, Meghan? How you doing?"
I think if she didn't want to go, if she was uncomfortable, he wouldn't make her go. But he ain't gonna tell her she can't go. Like, if he going, she going. I just he's made very clear how he feels about that. And I think at this point they know not to fuck with Harry by even telling him like Meghan can't come because he's gonna be like, "Well, bitch, I ain't there." Like they know. I feel like all the things that have led up to this point, they know Harry ain't with that shit.
Harry too wild. Harry too wild. I don't even think Harry would be on some okay, well, we ain't coming shit. I hope he gonna be like, "Well, I hope y'all change the venue or get the bomb squad out there, goddamn." Bitches, they hang up abruptly. Look, ain't no bomb, but them motherfuckers gonna hustle trying to figure that shit out. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, and this all just kind of so, I was Princess Diana died in like 97, and so I was alive, but I was a kid. But I do remember like generally hearing about it. And she divorced Charles, and a year later she was dead. And people have always felt like the royal family had something to do with her death. And Charles, like, so now all of this stuff is coming out about Charles and Diane, like resurfacing again. Charles is a dickhead. Like, so he never wanted to marry Diana. This was one of them arranged situations. Camilla, whatever her name, Camille. I think it's just Camille. That's who he was in love with, who he wanted to be with. But I'm assuming her lineage, whatever, wasn't good enough. And so, they didn't want her to be their queen. And so he wasn't allowed to marry her. And instead, Diana was kind of pushed on him. Although Diana was a bad bitch. Like looking at the two of them, it had to be love because it was not because she looked better than Diana. Let me just get that out the way. Okay. But like even in like old interviews when they first got together, I keep seeing this interview clip of a reporter asking him and Diana like, are they in love? And Diana says, of course. And he says, whatever love means. Nigga, what? What the fuck do you mean whatever love means? So like he would just like do shady shit all the time. And I'm sure that was a message to Camille to say like, baby, it's still you. Don't pay no attention to this.
You're still my number one bitch.
So there's also apparently at some point somebody recorded him talking to Camille during the time that he was married, or Camilla during the time that he was married to Diana. When I tell you that was the funniest, most disturbing shit I ever heard. Like British sexy talk is weird. Like she was telling him that she missed him and he was like, "Oh, do you want me to fill up your tank?"
What?
What the fuck says that? Fill up your
Would you
tank.
like for me to be your tea or your biscuit?
It's the weirdest fucking shit. Like it's, and so this was like kind of disturbing, but it was funny, right? Governor Bentley, who used to be governor of Alabama, and he looked like Mr. Burns. He had a scandal where they had recorded him talking to one of his staffers about sex. And when I tell you, I wanted to vomit after hearing that. But like the Charles like sex tape or like this recording is just funny because it's like, it's like if you've ever watched Austin Powers and thought that it was like this exaggerated thing, like that's what it reminded me of. Like, and I feel like you'd have to be British to find that sexy. I feel like if a British person did sexy talk to an American, like you would just laugh. Like you wouldn't be able to take it serious because it's like with the accent and the word choice, it's just weird. It's just fucking weird. But Charles never wanted to be with Diana. He did that out of duty. And not even like I ain't even saying he did it out of duty, because I feel like if you do something out of duty and you're gonna like honor your duty, then he wouldn't have did the fuck shit he did. Not only was he apparently fucking Camilla, he was fucking other people that worked for them too. Like you did your duty on paper. But in real life, you just continue doing what the fuck you wanted to do. She just was your side bitch instead of your wife because you couldn't make her your wife. And immediately when he was able to make her his wife, that's exactly what the fuck he did. Because that's who he married to now.
Okay, I'm finna read this transcript.
Is this of the sexy talk?
Yes.
Oh God.
Because I don't think how you categorize this is letting the people know what the fuck is happening.
Okay. Yeah, I can't do a good accent, so I didn't want to like say what they were saying. I know the fill your tank up was one, but
I'm finna do some weird accents, so don't judge
shit.
me.
Okay.
I'm gonna do a man and a woman accent.
Oh God.
I know it would revive me. I can't bear a Sunday night without you. Oh God. It's like that program, Start of the Week. I can't start the week without you. I fill up your tank. Yes, you do. Then you can cope. Then I'm all right. What about me? The trouble is I need you several times a week. So do I. I need you all the week, all the time. Oh God, I'll just live inside your trousers or something. It would be much easier. What are you going to turn into, a pair of knickers? Both laugh. Oh, you're going to come back as a pair of knickers. Oh God, forbid a Tampax. Just my luck. You are a complete idiot. Oh, what a wonderful idea. My luck to be chucked down the lavatory and go on and on, forever swirling round the top, never going down. Oh, darling. Until the next one comes through. Or perhaps you could come back as a box. What sort of box? A box of Tampax, so you could just keep going. That's true. Repeating yourself. Oh, darling, I just want you now. Do you? So do I. Desperately, desperately, desperately. Oh, I've thought of you so much at Yarraby. Did you? What the fuck is that? What the fuck was that? They sex talk consisted of him turning into a pair of pants so he could be on her ass, or possibly a Tampax so that he could go up inside of her, but it'll be sad when he got to get flushed down the toilet. And so her suggestion was to come back as a box of tampons so he could go back up after he get flushed as another. What the fuck?
There's a recording of them in there, so like oh Jesus. God.
What the fuck was that? Please.
So imagine like being on either side of that conversation as an American. Like, what are you talking about?
You seen the meme of the FBI agent pulling the headsets off of his head? That shit would happen immediately at that point. I'd be like, motherfuck no, this disgusting ass shit. Oh my God.
Weird. Really just like not sexy and just awkward and weird, and knickers has always been a funny word to me.
Imagine you with a man that you care about and he start trying to have British sexy talk and he'd be like, you know what? I'm gonna be your toilet paper. Cause I won't be in your bum. Bitch, get out of here.
Like, what the fuck is right?
Are you
It's
drunk
so bad.
or stupid?
It's so bad. And this came out. So imagine being Princess Diana and this shit hitting the news. Your husband's talking about being some other woman's tampon. It's so fucking stupid. I'm sorry. It's just, oh God, it's so stupid. And this is not who finna be their king. Again, I don't know exactly how much power the monarchy actually has and how much is really left up to the prime minister as far as that. I mean, Michael, if you're listening, maybe you can if we haven't offended you. I feel like Michael would be one of the people who would be like, fuck that bitch. But like what the
I mean,
the
I wonder
general
what the queen done to the Filipino people.
Oh yeah. I wonder what the general consensus is right now with like Charles coming into power, even if it's just as a figurehead. Because Queen Elizabeth, like I think they do a full revamp. So like he finna be on their money with them big ass fucking ears, like because her face is everywhere as the queen, and so his face finna be everywhere with them big ass ears, like Dumbo. Um, and like, what is the response gonna be to Camilla as like she will be the queen consort? Is what her title would be because I looked it up because I was curious.
Consort.
That's what it's called. Queen consort. That's what she would be. Or what she will be. So, or what she is. Shit, I think it immediately happens. Like when she died, he became king. So now he's King Charles instead of Prince Charles. But like William, I'm telling you, you about to step up to bat because Charles ain't finna live as long as his mom. Charles ain't gonna be here till he's 96, William. Like, you're gonna be up to bat soon. Whatever preps you need to be doing, do that shit now. Because yeah. I just don't see Charles being long for the world. And like the general consensus is that he's just a slimy ass, but like apparently, I wonder, like imagine being the prince waiting for your mom to die. It seems like she ain't never gonna die. And like imagine like promising shit to people like, when I become king, I'm gonna do this, and and never really having to do it because it's like she's never gonna die. Like I wonder how many favors he owes as he's coming in because he seemed like the kind of motherfucker that would do that. Like how much in debt is he to people? Favor wise that he's now finna have to like try to come through with because now he king after all this time that he would have been able to put that shit off because his mama just would never fucking die.
Yeah.
Like, is that Frankenstein looking motherfucker? Is her husband there? Her husband died already, didn't he?
Yeah.
He looked like a corpse. The very least I could say about the queen is she looked good for 96. Like he looked like a goddamn reanimated. If he outlived her, like looking like he looked, I can't remember his name. I don't be knowing what is Queen Elizabeth's husband. I don't remember his name. He looked like a reanimated corpse. Prince Philip, that's his name. Prince Philip, is he still alive?
Philip Banks.
No, he died last year. He died April of last year. He was 99. Shit, again. She was 96, but she looked good for 96. He looked terrible. He looked like some beef jerky.
His death must have broke her little deep frozen heart. My cousin was like, it wasn't the queen that was responsible for all of those wrongs. It was the people above her. And I'm like, man, it's only so long you can goddamn be up under some motherfuckers letting them kill everybody and start wars and shit and not do like you can complicit still.
And can't she dismantle parliament if she so felt like wanted to? Doesn't she have the power to do that?
Man, you know how them systems work. Not if she wanted to be in that box earlier than she was. They gonna kill her ass. What the fuck? You think a 96-year-old woman, like motherfuckers
Well,
want
not now. I'm saying
78-year-olds.
earlier, not
I
like
mean,
96.
still 20 years ago, like motherfuckers want 76-year-olds not to be able to have a license to drive. This bitch been driving the whole country. Like, they not finna let her make no decisions after she fucking 60. And she a woman. Like most woman-led systems have been run by the military generals. Most of the time. Men have still run it. It's like she be the figurehead. So by all intents and purposes, she probably still been a figurehead. You know?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Not my mama. Motherfuckers. I don't know what that was a response to. I just said it. I just wanted to say it. But anyway,
When did I'm trying to see when oh, is it?
We're at 2 hours.
Oh, okay. I briefly wanted to just mention that like white people stop trying to use AAVE. Just don't do it. And don't just mind your fucking business. There have been so many people telling stories of folks like misinterpreting what they were saying because you don't understand African American vernacular. Shut the fuck up. It's not for you to understand. And I'm not going to get on here and explain all of this shit to you because it ain't for you. Mind your fucking business. The way that we talk to each other is very specific and we get it. When I hear somebody say something when they're black and the tone, all of that makes it, and I know what they're saying immediately because it's for me. It ain't for you, so mind your business. Okay? Mind your fucking business.
Mind your fucking business and your life will be spared.
Like,
that's juvenile.
It costs nothing to mind your business. There was a lady that told us, so she like commented on somebody's thing. It was like, who told you that you could do this, this, and that? And so somebody commented and was like, who are you to tell them? Bitch, it's a compliment. Mind your business. Like when somebody looks good, we ask questions. Like, who told you could get this fly? Who told you could like that's what we do. And we understand it because it's for us. Mind your goddamn business. We don't get involved in y'all affairs. Okay? I don't know what y'all do to compliment each other, if you even do. But I don't care. It don't matter to me. Okay? Mind your fucking business. And then y'all look stupid when people explain it to you and you're like, oh, well, I didn't know. Exactly why you shouldn't have said a goddamn thing. Because you didn't know. Mind your business. And stay out of black business. If you don't understand it, it ain't for you to understand. And you ain't even asking questions to understand it. You just immediately going on the defense and telling somebody what the fuck they need to be doing. Bitch, mind your business. Okay? Thanks. I just wanted to mention that because I've been seeing that a lot. I'm just like,
agreed.
I walked out of Publix the other day, and a lady walked past me, and she was like, okay, purple.
Oh, a white lady?
No, a black girl lady. Oh. And so I immediately knew that it was a compliment, knew that she was saying, your hair looks really nice. In that very short, succinct statement. And I was like, thank you, and kept going.
Yeah.
What we do.
White people were probably looking around like, what just happened? She said, okay, purple. Is that girl's name Purple? They must know each other. It doesn't look like they know each other. It was such a brief encounter. What was that?
Don't take much. Okay. I done walked up to somebody before and been like, all right, polka dots.
They probably gonna be like, walk up to me, okay, Eddie. What you greet me like that for? Isn't that how I saw a greeting like that before? No. Well, okay, beard. I'd be like, peace.
Exactly.
Your boy.
Even the way that black men compliment each other, like y'all compliment each other really fucking weird too. Though, like you gonna get all the like y'all compliment each other based on your attractiveness to women. That's
all we can do. We can't be like, bro, that haircut is fire, bro. Like, goddamn, that shape your face out real nice the way that your beard is trimmed around the edges. No. They be like, this nigga think he gonna get all the hoes with that beard. think he gonna get out of the hole with that cut, nigga. Then the dude who got the cut got to be like, jealous ass nigga. Y'all don't know nothing about that shit. That shit. That's stupid.
But
Man.
y'all, it's a language that y'all understand. And so you get it immediately when somebody says it, it's a compliment. And y'all are the only ones that need to fucking mind your business, people. That's my PSA for this episode.
Yeah,
mind your
let
goddamn
Todd
business.
walk out the room and I'd be like, damn, Todd, you trying to get all the hoes, ain't you? He gonna be like, what? What are you talking about?
What
There are no
horse?
women here. There are no women here. What do you mean? And how do you even explain? Look, Abdul wouldn't even say, I'm saying you look nice. They wouldn't even say that shit.
Yeah.
My brother be like, you ain't getting no hoes with that attitude.
The way, if I give a white woman a compliment, is not in the same way. Like, I would not walk up to a white woman and be like, okay, dress, because she not gonna know what I'm talking about. She gonna be like, what about my dress? And I don't have to have this whole fucking explanation with her. So I just like, that's a nice dress, Susan. Really compliments you. That's how I compliment white women. But black women, it's succinct, it's quick. I can say one thing and they immediately like, girl, okay. Don't take much. We know. Because we understand it. So like white people, AAVE is not for you. Okay. If black people are having a conversation and you don't understand what they're saying, they're probably having a conversation that's not meant for you to fucking understand. Mind your business. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. That's the easiest thing for you to do. Because otherwise you're gonna feel like an idiot when they do explain it to you and you realize that you didn't got all up in an upheaval for no goddamn reason at all.
And we need to stop using that shit around white people for real. As much as we can. I know they be adopting it from hearing black people talking to black people, but like in person, cut that shit out. You ain't gonna do them to confuse motherfuckers. You be like, it's giving what it's supposed to give, sis. They be like, oh, that's a proper noun and a verb, and those don't. You ended the sentence with the improper grammar. What are you? It's giving what it's supposed to give. That how can something get what? Huh? Like,
and when a lot of them try to use it, it missed the flavor. Like, it don't sound the same.
Listen, it don't sound the same because they don't got it. They don't got the X factor. I was watching a video of this dude named Mr. Shy City, and Carrie Hilson and her team, he was popular at the time on YouTube, and he did a angry rant video because what they did was they said, look, Carrie Hilson is going to meet you and she's going to sign 10 copies of her album and you can give those away to the people on your channel, bring some traffic to your channel. And they kept calling and he got back with him and he was like, okay, so we need you to go buy the 10 albums. You bring them back on when you meet with Carrie, y'all can get him. And again, he's talking to a legitimate team that was going to pay him a little bit of money because he wasn't happy about how much they're going to pay him. But boom, he said they ghosted him after that. He bought these 10 albums, and in the video he said, he was saying, he just went in on Carrie Hilson, and he said, Carrie Hilson, you ain't no Beyonce. He said, you ain't even no Keisha Cole. Damn. And he said, let me tell you something about the X Factor. Because Beyonce, she don't dance better than nobody else. She ain't the best singer with the best voice. She don't even look the best. But you know what? She got the X Factor. And Carrie Hilson, that's something you don't got. He was so mad. He was so mad. And then he was like, if anybody want one of these fuck-ass Carrie Hilson albums, I'll give them away to you. First 10 people to message me about them, gonna get them.
Goddamn.
And white people don't got the X Factor. They don't got the timbre in their voice to say the shit that we say it. They don't got the soul in their existence to communicate words the way we communicate words. They don't have the fucking cultural trauma to know what it means to want to connect with somebody that looks like you in the way that we do to even be able to goddamn have the juice to say that shit in the way that it need to be said.
That's another thing, but we don't
have. Sorry, they don't got it.
I won't get into it, but y'all white people are really losing y'all minds behind this Little Mermaid, which we've known forever that Halle was gonna play that shit, and now that the trailer then came out, y'all are once again a black mermaid. It's a goddamn mermaid, okay? Y'all act like this story is rooted in history, and they've completely changed a character, which y'all have done before, mind you. It is a fictional race of creatures because she was shown as white before don't mean, and it's another like Lord of the Rings, either a show that's come out, they got a black elf, they losing their mind over that. It's an elf. Do y'all know that elves don't in Middle Earth don't exist? Do you know that? Do you know that that's not like it's not historical fact? They mad as fuck. You don't understand because y'all see yourselves everywhere. You don't get. Let me tell you something. Why Black Panther did as well as it did, because it was the first time black people of all shapes, sizes, colors, we saw ourselves beautifully, mind you. We were not drug dealers. We were not prostitutes. We were not athletes. Okay. We were not being the sassy black women. Like it was like royal shit. Okay. Pride. It was an ability to see yourself in a positive light. And white people, y'all get that all the time, so you don't get it. You don't understand why it fucking matters because you ain't never not had it. It's the same reason why Encanto, why Hispanic people love that fucking movie. Okay? It is the only time that you get to see yourself represented in something. And these are fictional characters. Why y'all give a fuck so bad? Jesus, like oh my God, I don't even know nothing about the Lord of the Rings, whatever that is, but white people are upset about that black elf. Oh, they mad about that black elf. It's gonna take away from it. How? How does him literally only be the words are the same, the storyline is the same, everything is the same, this nigga just black. How does that change it for you? And if it does, then you did some questions you need to be asking yourself that ain't got shit to do with nobody else but you. They mad as fuck. That's it. I can get on a rant about that, but like I'm just tired. White people, just stop white people in so much. Do y'all have to white people all the time? Y'all don't get tired of white people?
God damn it, if you got a problem with us white people, and take your motherfucking monkey ass on back goddamn to Africa, all right? Don't be coming around here talking about no goddamn reparations, no goddamn Kool-Aid, no watermelon fried chicken, grape soda. Get your motherfucking monkey ass back on the train, plane, goddamn submarine. I don't give a good goddamn how you get over there. Take your monkey ass over back to Africa and hang out with the goddamn zebras and gorillas and lions and all that shit they got over there. You got a problem with motherfucking English and a wall? I don't give a goddamn. Take your monkey purple haired ass back on over there. And your AAVE and all that motherfucking coon language y'all goddamn, get your ass on. I don't give a goddamn.
Why you sound like Dave Chappelle? What is that character? The
Blatant
black
Bixby.
racist Bixby. That's what you sounded like.
White power. Goddamn coons.
It's just crazy. Like I've seen like videos of little girls being so excited to see Halle playing that role. Like she's black. It's a black because you don't get to see yourself. Then some white people were like, well, what if they change Tiana to white? First of all, okay, all these princesses, we finally get a black one. You want to take that away talking this shit. And Tiana's story heavily depended on her being black. Part of it was her struggle as a black woman in Louisiana trying to make it for herself. White would change the storyline. The fuck?
Like, Ariel is a fucking mermaid. There's no way in fucking God's green earth she's even supposed to be white.
She should not be that pale ass white.
It ain't nothing in the
living
bottom. I
under
mean,
the sea
it's very
with
few
no-
shits in the bottom of the sea that's white.
Yeah.
Okay? Right? And the shit that we done seen that's white is so deep in the fucking ocean that a motherfucking mermaid wouldn't even exist that deep in the goddamn ocean. Do you know the things that exist in the ocean that we can't get to can't survive in the ocean that we can get to?
Yeah.
So if
they
a mermaid,
need the pressure and all, yeah.
So if a mermaid could get to fucking land, that means she don't exist in the very bottom of the ocean. Meaning she's likely gonna be something of a darker color, like all of the other shit you see in the ocean. So her motherfucking ass ain't supposed to be white. In the worst case scenario, her ass supposed to be fucking pale gray.
And the people that have a problem with the color of the red. Ariel's red was a cartoon red. This is a real life remake of the cartoon. Have you ever met a redhead? Do you see what redheads actually fucking look like? Because it's not that Ariel red. It's not. That's not what real redheads look like. Y'all, it's a live action, like a live version of this cartoon. So they're trying to make it look as realistic as you can make a real mermaid look, as it being that they don't exist. But like hair color, red hair color does not look like cartoon Ariel. It don't. People, I just was expecting her hair to be redder. Have you met a redhead before? Have you ever encountered actual gingers?
No, they haven't. Because they just sit in their basement and be mad about shit going on in society that they don't like because it's not as white as it used to be. I mean,
Like,
I wish they would just say it with their chest.
just
I don't like all this new nigga shit.
because the trailer was literally her singing a little part of that song and you seeing for the first time what she looked like. It'd be different if they drastically changed the story. Like, you don't know anything other than the fact that she's black, and that's literally all y'all mad about. Not the story. She's black. How dare y'all?
Listen,
The woke society.
I already know how the movie's gonna go. They're gonna be in the hood part of the sea. Motherfucking those gangster fish doing fucking swim bys on the ops.
Swim bys. I hate you.
Why will we don't want to see that fucking ghetto coon ass rendition of the Little Mermaid? It's for kids, for heaven's fucking sakes. Like, why they're going to name their characters, rename them Sebastian the Realist, Flounder the Fuck Boy. I hate niggas.
That you're saying.
Oh man, I got so racist in this last 17 minutes. You did this shit. This. I've been doing good not being racist on the fucking show.
I was just mentioning some bullshit going on in the world. I just wanted to mention it. Y'all need to calm down. Y'all are really saying the quiet part out loud. That's what a lot's going on. Like, people are really saying the shit they used to keep to themselves. They saying that shit out loud. And they not realize, like, that was the quiet part. You weren't supposed to say that. You're looking pretty racist right now, to be honest with you. If y'all have a problem with these characters being black, literally based solely on the fact that they're black, it doesn't change the story. And these are fantasy creatures. They're not real species of anything. It could be whatever, because that's what fantasy is. Disney made Ariel white at the time that they made this first fucking version of this, because that's where the world was at the time, not because mermaids are actually fucking white. Y'all act like this is a retelling of his history and they just changing important shit. It is a fantasy story. Like, calm down. Like, what if we started, like, somebody said something like, what if they, made a documentary with a white Malcolm X. Malcolm X was a real fucking person that we know was black. How is that a comparison? Like, you just saying stuff now. This is not real hit. You do know that mermaids don't have, like, that. It's not real. You do know that elves, they're not real. They're not changing historical fact. Y'all just sound crazy.
Yeah. Y'all are problematic. You need fucking help. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. Listen, I just wanted to mention, though, because I know I was going to forget to say something about it next week if I did it. So, yeah.
I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever been, I'm sure you have been complimented by a lesbian before?
Yeah.
How do you handle that?
The same way I handle being complimented by a man. Thank you. Move the fuck on.
I was in TikTok live with a gay guy. We just having a good conversation, and he was in the middle of the sentence. He said, "I gotta stop. Eddie be talking. That beard is giving what it's supposed to give. You are an attractive man." Flattery. I was like, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it. Try to keep the beard game moving. You know what I'm saying? And then we continue the conversation. But
Yeah, it's the
always
same.
a flattering, fun moment.
If you could give me a genuine compliment, I don't really give a fuck who it comes from. Cause like, you know, her giving me a compliment doesn't even mean I compliment people that I don't have any attraction to because I can find attractive traits on anyone, right? So like even if I give a guy a compliment, I may not find him attractive generally, but like this specific thing. So like I'm not somebody that automatically assumes that somebody complimenting me that they're trying to sleep with me or they want me or anything like that. Like especially if it's some shit like my hair or something, everybody compliment me by my hair. Straight people, lesbians, gay men.
Bro, I bought a shirt. I'll have to show you the shirt before we get off. I got 3 compliments in a 15-minute span. I was like, oh damn. It's like it's a MF Doom shirt, which is a rapper, but his logo is kind of like old Dr. Doom mask.
Okay.
So, man, I was like, damn, I gotta get more shirts, man. I like compliments.
Compliments.
I got these anime shirts, and it's like, I like the shirts, but people don't compliment anime shirts because they don't know what they are. Like, you gotta get shirts so they know what they are.
Yeah.
They don't know what they are. Anyway,
this is true.
You got anything else on your mind?
I do not.
All right. Well, until we find the next conversation,
We out.
holla.